Okay, so here we are for the battle against 𝙁𝙐𝙏 and the Toronto Razor Leafs. First time playing 𝙁𝙐𝙏, I'm really looking forward to it. And he does bring roughly what I was expecting. I kind of expect like a double AV sort of vibe with Empoleon and 𝙈𝙼𝙉𝙀 potentially being AV. I think 𝙈𝙼𝙉𝙀 almost definitely will be just because of Flutter Mane. Outside of that, Gouging Fire looks really good if we're able to get to +2, which I know is asking a lot. But even if we get to +1, we should be in a pretty good spot. I do just want to lead off with my Iron Bundle, because I think there's no real downside to leading this against most things on his team. I mean, it brings in Empoleon, which in turn brings in my Tapu Migo. That's not easy for me to say. Which honestly in this game is so unbelievably free. I don't know if he had a ghost type on his draft, but regardless, like, his psychic type is neutral, and his only real switch in is going to be the Landorus, and chipping at Landorus gives Entei, by Entei I mean Gouging Gary, a much freer endgame. So that's what we're going to go for. We're just going to click Terra Water and we're going to flip turn 1. We don't have our other Terra Captain, we have no reason to necessarily like hide our Terra here, so if we see, well, basically anything, any kind of lead here is going to be fine. There's only one thing that would potentially outspeed me, and that's going to be a Zamazenta if it's choice Scarf, which I'm certainly hoping it won't be. Odin is the lead. I most definitely will take this. He intimidates me, that's fine. I don't think he's ever going to want to take this hit, so I'm just going to flip turn on out of here on what would I assume be a incoming Empoleon. If he stays in, which he doesn't, I was going to say then we'll go from there, but I didn't expect him to stay in. The Leviathan comes in, is that? Okay, not what I was expecting in terms of nickname, I'll be completely honest. So Empoleon, defensive pivot. We're looking at about 9%, which is actually not terrible. Terra Water Hydro Pump actually does more than Freeze Dry in this game, despite being resisted. So we'll see how much we do here and whether or not we can scout an item. That looks to have a bit more Fizz Def than I was necessarily expecting, but this does give us our Flamigo to be able to click a button. There's nothing else really that's going to be better. Just clicking Close Combat is a possibility here. I could also double again. I could just U-turn. But I think the better play, honestly, is just to click Close Combat. What do we go in on? What do we go into on Landorus? If Landorus is the most likely switch in, we could continue to pivot around and just kind of do those kind of shenanigans, which might not be the worst play. I'm just going to see how much this is going to do to Orlando, as to whether or not it's even worth me clicking the button. Close Combat does 24 to 29. If we do Brave Bird here, catching the switch wouldn't be too bad. So I think that's potentially what I want to do. Do I need to make a risky play early on? Not particularly. I think he wants to keep this for bundle though, so I will just click Brave Bird. There's not really a switch in on his team. Odin comes in. We are scrappy, so we don't actually care about this. And this should do around half, depending on his investment. Yeah, amazing. That's such good damage. We don't see an item, but there's nothing that really I'm too scared of. So I will just click Brave Bird again. Even if he switches, we're still in a good spot. This will reveal it with Scarf potentially, because that looks like it's going to be somewhat offensive. Actually, maybe not. 49 to 58 to max HP. So he might not have speed investment on this. And if that's the case, we're certainly not in a bad spot. If we get more chip on Empoleon, amazing. Love that. He may try and set up rocks here, and I'd rather rocks not go up. He might have rocks on Empoleon as well. So yeah, getting any kind of chip on his walls is just going to be fantastic for either a bundle endgame, potentially even a Flamigo endgame is possible, because now we can lock into close combat once this thing goes down. In fact, we might be able to lock into it now and still be able to do enough to pick up the 2-hit KO. But regardless, I think that was a very much... Okay, so Lander's going to go down. I was about to say it's a fantastic prediction. It's what we needed. Flamigo picking up our first kill of the season. We have a whole team of threats. Nah, Flamigo is the first thing picking up the KO. You love to see it. But now it does allow him to get a potential threat in. But if that was his rock setter, which, you know, he led with it, so there's definitely a chance that it was. No rocks is going to be really nice. The Clear Amulet on our Gouging Fire, completely useless. Could have had any other item, but, you know, it is what it is. We're here now. So, I wasn't to know. Well, maybe I should have thought about the game plan and how I was going to lead bundle, switch out. You know what, there was a thought process that probably should have led to a different item other than Clear Amulet. But just on the off chance that, you know, Lando was still around at a point in which Gouging wanted to set up, then having the Clear Amulet was very much helpful. Because being at neutral attack just meant that I could never actually sweep on anything. And yeah, we didn't want that. But saying that, Gouging is kind of a breaker in this game more so than a sweeper. It's also bulky as shit to try and deal with the Ogerpon. Ifrit comes out. Okay, so this is a mon that I just straight up don't switch into. I don't switch into it at all. The fact that it took a little while to do that, is he Choice Scarf on this? Like, currently, Flamigo actually, if it can lock into close combat, looks really fucking good. I could go through to Terrapagos. Do I think that's worth it? Potentially. What's better for me to keep around? Flamigo does look really, really nice. Because every time the... I say that actually, maybe it's outsped by Ogerpon. I think getting the Brave Bird damage here might just be more beneficial if he isn't Scarfed. If he's Scarfed, then we will find out. He doesn't know that I'm Scarfed, I guess. But this will do 82 to 98 if it's no bulk. He is Scarfed. Okay, well, we resist that. So we're going to take the hit. And we are going to get flinched. Little bit tough. Okay, he's locked into the Dark move. That is very unfortunate, because this Chi-Yu would be as good as dead. But it's good to know that it is Choice Scarf. It is Scarfed, so... don't have amazing switch-ins to this mon. We know it's not Specs, it's Scarf. I will keep this around, because I have no reason, I don't think, to necessarily just immediately scrap it. So... Terrapagos is like like stops me from losing, but I don't think there's necessarily too many things on this team that I'm going to just immediately lose to. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate there, but you know, hacks is hacks, you can't do anything about it. And this shouldn't do too much. It should put us in a position where we can click something. Dark Pulse, we'll see how much this does, because it should do probably around 10%. Does 80 damage. Okay, so with that in mind, let's have a quick look. Dark Pulse put me down to 313, 20%. So 20% looks like it's timid. Like, I think that has to be timid, and a fairly low roll on timid. Maybe just not max special attack. Not entirely sure, but he does break our Terra Shell again. Kind of wish that I was a different item, but it is what it is. Do I want to click Rocks here? Is Rocks Chip going to be helpful at all? Realistically, not the most helpful. Is it going to be more beneficial for me to just click Terra Starstorm? Probably not. I will Earth Power. I'll Earth Power once, see what his initial reaction to this is going to be, because I don't think he stays in. I could have set up rocks there, but just on the off chance that he did decide to stay in, I felt like it was better for me to do this. So Siren comes in. I actually want this weekend as well. So that's got to be AV. That looks exceptionally AV, if you ask me. He might U-turn. He might U-turn here. I kind of want to just set up rocks. If it's Calm Mind, how bad is that for me? It's not terrible, because I can always come in with Flamigo afterwards. So yeah, I'll set up rocks here. Without our Terra Shell, we are a little bit weaker to this mon, but he may also want to switch, just not wanting to take too much damage. Empoleon could come in. I don't know. I think if he's going into this, he probably just stays in and attacks. But we'll see. If he's not got any speed investment, we will outspeed it, but I do expect it to have just a little bit, at the very least. No, he doesn't. Okay, so we outspeed this. It's good to know. Let's just get rocks up. And then I probably do want to switch. He T-Waves. Fine. Absolutely fine by me. A little bit annoying by all means, because we can now get Paraflitch by the Chi-Yu, but how do I want to react to this? I could go into my Necrozma here. I don't hate that. Necrozma at the moment is stopping me from losing to what? I won't lose to Zamazenta. That's kind of helpful to have. I guess like Gouging also probably means that I don't just immediately lose to Zama. I could also just stay in and try and get my damage off. Scarf GU is less of an issue because I still have a Scarfer that outspeeds it. Albeit we might have to rely on Hydro Pump to hit, but you know, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I'm going to just Terra Starstorm. There's a chance that he switches, he does the Slice Shock. We are bulky enough that we should take that, yeah. And hopefully we get some damage off. That is a crit. Okay, it's Citrus, it's not AV. Okay. Yeah, I think my better play here is now just to switch out into Necrozma. If he T-Waves again, he T-Waves again. How fast are we in Necrozma? Because I might be... Oh, I'm slower. I'm slow as shit on Necrozma, so I don't care too much about getting T-Waved, that's for sure. But I go Necrozma and I can click Earthquake. It might bait him into thinking that I'm like fully physical and go into something that might be able to check that. But regardless, I think Necrozma immediately puts on pressure against his team. If he doubles into Chi-Yu, just a great play. But I don't think you double into Chi-Yu on a potential Terra Starstorm. Like, that does a lot of damage. You never know, he might do. He might well do. Okay, so we at least switch first. Does actually no, because of Paralyzed, it does mean that he stayed in. Potential Hyper Voice incoming, I guess, but we are bulky. Yeah, there's a Hyper Voice. Doesn't do a great deal of damage, and I do just want to get off an Earthquake. I could also Morning Sun here. What potentially wants to come in? Really, it's going to be nothing. I am going to get outsped, so I think Morning Sun might be better. I don't think you go hard Chi-Yu without knowing what this set can do. I think you T-Wave first, yep. And hopefully we can get this Morning Sun off. That'll be quite nice. It's Paralyzed, might not be able to move. Gets the Morning Sun off. Okay, so now we can start hitting things. I think Earthquake looks pretty damn free in this matchup. If he goes into Ogerpon, we have our Gouging Fire to be able to switch in. I think what I need to do though is I really need to get my Gouging Fire set up. And I think I need to bring it in on the Empoleon to be able to do that. So I think next time we're able to get into a position where we can do this, I think I need to go out into Iron Bundle, try and bring in the Empoleon, and then click Dragon Dance on the Empoleon, because we will be able to take a hit from Chi-Yu as well. And if we get to +2, we're in a really, really good spot. So I just need to try and get to that game point, or that game state where I can do that. It will open up the game a bit more, because at the moment, albeit we're looking relatively good, we're not making a great deal of progress, and I would much rather be making progress in this situation. If Chi-Yu comes in, that's probably the best case scenario for the rest of the game. There's the U-turn. Does very little damage. A little bit risky because I could have been weakness policy, but I also understand it. I do get it. And I think like the most likely switch, move here is going to be like a dark move. So there's a chance that Chi-Yu comes in, and if we can land an Earthquake, then that thing will take a great deal of damage, if not die. So yeah, we would have been in a position where we could have just quite freely clicked anything, and Chi-Yu would be dead. In fact, it would be dead to rocks. In fact, we know it's dead to rocks anyway. But we're in a position where it's not dead to rocks. It would die to rocks if it comes in now. But it would have been dead to rocks had we not got flinched. But yeah, it's the game we play. We also crit him, so I would call us even on hacks at the moment. Okay, Titan comes in. Was that the 𝙁𝙗𝙍𝙬? No, it's you. Okay, well that's less than ideal, isn't it? Earthquake going to do resounding 0 damage. Yep. I could stay in here. I could stay in. Do I want to do that? I'm not in a terrible position against this Mon, and if I just Photon Geyser it, then I'm certainly not in a bad position at all. If he clicks SD here and we get paralyzed, would suck a little. It would suck even more if he is also Trailblaze. I think we're okay as long as we've still got Gouging Fire in the back. We could see a knockoff come out here. I think the main question is how much is a Photon Geyser going to do? Photon Geyser would do over half. Do I think that's worth it? Gouging Fire would not take a lot from anything that this wants to throw out. So I think I'm just going to go out into Gouging Fire and I'm going to attempt to make some progress here and click Dragon Dance. There shouldn't be too much that he can do. If he does U-turn, then there's not a lot that can immediately come in and threaten my Gouging Fire. So there is that at least. He's going to Terra, of course. Yeah, 𝙁𝙗𝙁𝙗𝙁 is his Terra captain, by the way. I forgot to mention that at any point during this game. Yeah, he's Terra 𝙁𝙗𝙁. Be interested to see how much this can do. It's either a U-turn or a knockoff, I would assume, that's coming out, but it could also be an SD. Gets the embody aspect. And Ivy Cudgel is literally just going to bounce off of us. Albeit it's still a fucking, Terra 𝙁𝙗𝙁. It's a 4 times resist at least, so... do I think it's going to be possible for me to get 2 Dragon Dances off? No. Is he going to stay in? Also no. So, yeah, I'm just going to DD. See what he wants to do to react to this. Fenrir comes in. That is the dog. Now, how do I want to react to this? Because he's got his defense boost. I'm now at +1 though, so we have something. We have something going. We are slower. We need to get to +2, which we can do here. I just need to make sure. This Iron Press. We do 48 to 57 at +2. That is, of course, assuming that he doesn't. There's other opportunities for me to do this. So I don't need to panic right now. I don't need to go too aggressive. I play this one safer. Because the only bad thing is if he is Scarf. Essentially. And if he's Scarf, then he's locked in. And it definitely puts us in a bit of a better situation. This not having the +1 next time. If it doesn't have the Dauntless Shield, means that at +1 we're able to do it KO, and that puts us in a much better spot. There's the Iron Defense. Okay, so that was somewhat to be expected. However, we should be able to do a very good amount of damage with Photon Geyser. We've shown that we're physical, so he may think that we're fully physical. He could also go 𝙁𝙗𝙁 here, and 𝙁𝙗𝙁 would net him a KO. And then we get into bundle. We bundle and probably flip turn. I want to say that Terra Water flip turn probably does knock out 𝙁𝙗𝙁 from the range it's currently at. Or will be at once it's taken rocks. It just narrowly misses out on a KO. You hate to see that, but still. Flip turn would always be the play regardless, just because we don't want to throw away our bundle if we can possibly help it, but he might also just think we're fully physical, because we've shown the Earthquake and we are attack invested, at least enough that he might just be like, oh, this is defensive set. And if that's the case, the Photon Geyser will almost nuke this. Yeah, he does body press, does a good amount of damage, very respectable, and we are fully paralyzed. A little bit tough. Morning Sun. Morning Sun is the better play. Try and keep us as healthy as we can. Obviously, we brought this in to attack. But we were going to get fully powered at some point. I think this might be one of the better opportunities for us to get fully powered, because he might just go for another Iron Defense and attempt to 𝙁𝙇𝙐𝙀 KO us. I guess with that in mind, maybe I should have gone for the Photon Geyser, but if he does switch out into 𝙁𝑢, then we are still in that same situation where we're at backup for full and can switch into this Mon fairly effectively. If he is Crunch, I assume he'll go for it here. He does go for the Iron Defense. Makes a lot of sense. We are going to get the Morning Sun off. Excellent. And now we click Photon Geyser and hope that we don't just get 𝙁𝑢 KO'd. If we do, we do. We know for a fact that this is not Choice Scarfed. There's a body press. Does it do half? Not quite. And we get the Photon Geyser off. Excellent. So now he's going to know this is a special Photon Geyser because he's fucking dead. And that's one of the threats averted. Amazing news. Love to hear that. Does this mean that I can now just set up, or potentially set up, with my Gouging Fire on the Empoleon again? Arguably yes. 𝙁𝑢 probably comes in. Has he seen an item on this? He hasn't. So maybe he thinks I'm Colbur. He may think I'm Colbur, but regardless, I think I die to a fire move at this point. So it shouldn't matter too much. Now, do I want to let this go down, or do I let the Flamigo go down? Because Flamigo can only realistically kill, what, just the Empoleon at this point? I guess it can do a lot to Meloetta, but this can also do a lot to Meloetta. So yeah, I think Flamigo is going to be the better option for us to sack if we have to pick one. I think that is definitely the case. In terms of setup left on his team, it is literally just going to be the Ogerpon that I've got to be scared of. Ifrit comes out, makes sense, going to take the rocks. And at this point, I think we definitely do just sack off Flamigo. It's done a fantastic job. We salute you for your service, Tapu Migo. But it is in fact your time to go down. It was your time to go down arguably earlier as well, when he clicked Dark Pulse. But you know, it is what it is. Dark Pulse comes out, makes a lot of sense. Now we just go into the Iron Bunder. That's a crit. Definitely matters. Ignore that I did like 50% before. That crit definitely matters. Now we go out into Bunder. We go Bunder and we click Flip Turn. If we have to sack a second Mon to this, we sack a second Mon. You know, it needs must, right? Needs must. He's going to probably know that we are Choice Scarf here. He might just stay in and attempt to get the KO, because he might think that he just kills. But we are definitely faster than any potential 𝙁𝑢. I did just check that. I looked at the second monitor to check that I was faster. Definitely faster than any 𝙁𝑢. And Flip Turn will do... It won't kill it. It won't kill it from here. So that's what I mean. If we have to sack something, we have to sack something. But it will put it in range of rocks next time it comes in. And if that's the case, I think we're actually in a really good spot. I do have to think about potential Encore on Ogerpon. We've seen Ivy Cudgel, but that's it. I do have to worry about Encore. In fact, maybe not setting up with Gouging Fire at this point might be better. If we get this Flip Turn damage, then it definitely will be the case, because we just won't need the speed. But especially because we know Meloetta is literally 0 speed, and I think we got enough speed on Gouging Fire. Yeah, we got enough speed on Gouging. We should be in a good spot, but it is going to switch, which means that I can get in my Gouging. The fire thing comes in. Do I just want to go Gouging here? I think I do. Because Gouging immediately puts pressure on this as well. And if he does... if he does switch... Yeah, I'm going to go Gouging. I'm not even going to like think too much about this. I'm just going to go Gouging. Because it immediately forces some pressure onto his team. I can click Earthquake. That will kill everything. And yeah, if he wants to go 𝙁𝑢 on like me clicking Dragon Dance, it's dead. And if 𝙁𝑢's dead, then there is absolutely no threat to Gouging Gary here. There's absolutely none at all. Outside of... I don't know. I don't even know what this motherfucker is going to do in front of me. Like, who knows? It could slap me with those penguin hands. It could be like Agility, and that would be hilarious. it would fuck me up. It would really fuck me up. But the way he's playing it, it's a defensive check to Iron Bundle. I think this might be a game where Flutter doesn't even hit the field, but if I can get it to hit the field, I most definitely will. Considering the situation we're in now, actually, I think Flutter could probably come in and do a job. We are just going to EQ, and it's not going to kill. It's going to do a good amount, but it's not going to kill. And he flip turns into what I can only assume is going to be 𝙁𝙍𝙬. Does 𝙁𝙍𝙬 do enough from here? I don't actually know how much damage I've taken, but I think the safest course of action is literally just going to be to double into 𝙁𝙁𝙍𝙀, sack 𝙁𝙁𝙍𝙀. Because I do want to keep this thing healthy, that he can't just... I mean, it doesn't matter at this point if he spams Ivy Cudgel, probably not. No, positioning wise, I think we should be winning this game. It all comes down to whether or not Ogerpon can do anything against my team. We do have enough, I believe, to be able to deal with it, especially because we've got Scarf Bunder. And Scarf Bunder is almost in a position where it should be able to clean up. If I relied on Hydro Pump, yes, it would probably be able to clean up at this point, but I'm not going to risk it if I don't have to. It is one of my lose cons, is to lose Bunder, so keeping that thing alive, definitely going to be handy. Ifrit comes out, that is 𝙁𝙍𝙬. That's the 𝙁𝙍𝙬. Again, I preserve the pieces that mean that I'm not going to lose to this game. And 𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙀 is not one of those pieces that allows me to win this game. It does bring the differential down by all means, but I can then go into Bundle. I can go Bundle and then I can go out to Flutter main, right? There's no downside to that, as far as I'm aware. Because if he goes out into Empoleon, I just click Calm Mind. Or I can just click Calm Mind. It might be a bit risky to click Calm Mind, actually. Do I need the Calm Mind? I am like no attack, so there's a good chance that I might need that Calm Mind. Let's just see. Ogerpon 50 to 59. I don't think that's in range. Saying that, the Ivy Cudgel wouldn't kill me from full. But I certainly wouldn't want to take that, that's for sure. How much are we doing? We're not doing a great deal to Empoleon. It's a good job it's not lefties, because it would have actually been, more of a problem for me to deal with. So it has become that time in which we sack our 𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙀. In fact, we don't even sack it, it lives. But regardless, like, my play is still the same. In fact, I'm just going to click Rapid Spin. I don't know why I click Rapid Spin, but he's going to kill me here regardless. There's no shot like he doesn't. There's no fear of him being outsped or anything like that. I guess maybe he wants to position better, and he could position better with Ogerpon being in. Terra Starstorm probably was the right play. I'm just gonna say that now. Terra Starstorm, 100% the right play, but here we are. Maybe he goes out into Empoleon and tries to get a Roost off. But at the same time, if I was to click Earth Power, which is my most likely click, then he would be in a bit of trouble. So I think for now he probably just picks me off, and if he doesn't, I have made a terrible error. He's going to withdraw, you fucker. You motherfucker. Okay. Leviathan comes in. Makes some sense. Couldn't move because I'm paralyzed. Little bit tough. Regardless, I just Earth Power. There is no downside to that, right? Yeah, he's going to Roost, and I've got to try and prevent him from actually getting healthy, because this will be able to stop him from... Well, that's not what you want to see. I will say, that's not what you want to see. I will Earth Power again. He could bring out Ogerpon here. This certainly makes the game a little bit more challenging, but at the same time, he's just going to Roost again. Come on, 𝙁𝙁𝙁𝙀. I believe you can break through paralysis. I don't know why I believed in it, I'll be honest. Okay, so at this point I'm going to Terra Starstorm. He could just flip turn. Very annoying having this thing at full, I'll be completely honest. You know what, I'm just going to Earth Power, because if he switches, he flip turns. He doesn't, like, not pick me off, right? Well, there was a time in which I had done damage to this one. He surfs. Okay, so that's actually ideal. And he gets a crit. That one definitely mattered as well. That one mattered maybe more than the Flamigo. We'll see. But okay, back out into Gouging Fire we go. Maybe I should have just gone straight out into Gouging. That would have been a better play. Let's be honest, it would have been a better play. Regardless, I just Earthquake. There's no reason for me to not Earthquake, because I need to get this damage off. I need to keep weakening this flappy motherfucker. However, he's making it very difficult for me to be able to do so. So, there's an EQ. And that's a respectable amount of damage. After it's taken the next round of rocks and stuff, then it will start causing some problems. He's definitely bringing the differential back. Definitely bringing that one down. But, you know, here we are. We're still in the same spot. If it comes in, I've got to pick a sack. This time it's going to be Necrozma. This time it is Necrozma. And this fish has got one more switch in afterwards. So, we're making some progress, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be Necrozma this time. I'm very much enjoying just picking sacks. I mean, it didn't matter what I clicked on that. The rapid spin was a misplay. That is 100%. But he could have been minus speed nature, in which case the rapid spin meant I then outsped it. I doubt it, but you never know. Regardless, we play with the cards that we've been dealt, and the triple paralysis certainly was a card of all time. Okay, so Necrozma coming back in to die. It definitely does not take this hit. Might be a bit of a surprise that it doesn't take this, but it certainly does not take this hit. Okay. So now do I want to bring you in? Because I can literally just bring you in, click Moonblast, and something dies. No. I think going into Bunder at this point is still going to be the play. Still going to keep clicking the same buttons. I could freeze dry potentially, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. Clicking Flip Turn is just all reliable. Clicking Flip Turn. And it immediately puts Empoleon like in a spot where either it's got to die or it's got to he's got to switch or something like that. So if I can Morning Sun on Empoleon as well, and that would then put myself in a position where arguably I just will never die. So I think that's going to be the play. And if this goes down, Gouging should just be able to clean up. I believe it should just be able to clean up. So, but I think that he should never let this go down at the same time. So I do believe that Empoleon is coming back in and we're going to be in the same spot again. But I would need to pick a sack. So, yeah, there's a switch. In comes Leviathan again. Is this the opportunity that I want? It's Boots. I've just realised it's Boots. After all this game, I've just realised that it's Heavy Duty Boots. So once again, we go Gouging Fire. And I think this time I want to value my health. So I am going to just click Morning Sun. Because I don't think he's going to want to just let this go down. As to what he goes into though, I don't know. I could not tell you. How much do I take from a Dark Pulse? That's a question I should probably be asking, right? How much do I take from Chi-Yu Dark Pulse? From Choice Scarf is Timid. We take 40 to 47, so we should be able to take 2 from full. He is going to stay in. I assume this is just a flip turn, but with me being as healthy as I am, yeah, he flip turns, puts me down to 350. If I'm at 350, it's a 43% chance to a KO. The downside Downside to this is what? Probably not a lot actually, because if we end up losing our Mon here, then we go into Flutter. I mean, we should probably go on Flutter last time because it meant that we weren't in this cycle. It would have changed up the gameplay cycle at the very least, which would have been more beneficial for me, and it is what it is. Regardless, we're now in this position where hopefully we're able to take a hit from 𝙁𝙐𝙬. I mean, we'll be able to take a hit from 𝙁𝙐𝙬 regardless, right? It's whether or not we get flinched, and considering how this game has gone so far, there is a chance of the flinch. But I think then it's Flutter time, and we have to try and get something going with Flutter. I think we just Calm Mind on Siren comes out. Okay. That wasn't necessarily who I was expecting. If he U-turns, situation doesn't really change. I'm just going to click Dragon Dance, because he hasn't seen Dragon Dance yet. So maybe he doesn't think... no, sorry, he has seen Dragon Dance. My apologies. I clicked Dragon Dance the first time this came in. It's been a while. It's been a long-ass game so far. But regardless, I think... Actually, at +2, we probably don't outspeed much. 448. We wouldn't outspeed 𝙁𝙁𝙍𝙀, I'm pretty sure. Because we are bulky as... Like, we're bulky as shit. If he Hyper Voices... I don't know how much Hyper Voice will do, actually. I should probably calc that one. Depends on his set. What we're going to see... T-Wave. That's a little annoying. So he's going for the Para Flinches. Do I DD for a second time? It means that I then outspeed this again. So, yeah, I think... maybe I should have just attacked, actually. Flare Blitz would have been very free against his team. I think if we don't get flinched by the Dark Pulse or paralyzed on that turn, then we might be alright. I think it may be too risky for him to switch, but we're still in a position where we can, I think, clean up. Yeah, Hyper Voice doesn't do a lot. We're going to Dragon Dance again. That puts us to a position where we're outspeeding at least this. I will definitely Morning Sun. If he U-turns here, then positionally that's going to be the best for me. But at the same time, who knows what will happen this turn. Paralysis has not been my friend in this game, so I'm just hoping, I'm praying that we can do the thing. We are paralyzed, so at +2 we're back at the same speed stat we were. I don't think that this can actually even do that much damage. Like, I don't think this can do too much damage to my Flutter main. I just need to fucking bring it in at this point, don't I? Like, that's realistically all I need to do. I can continue to Dragon Dance if he stays in, so I think he U-turns. Never mind. Plus 2 EQ knocks this out, surely. I think it does. So I will go for that. Meloette is going to go down. And his... basically his one check to... his one check to my Flutter main is down. He basically has to go into 𝙁𝙐𝙬 here. If he goes 𝙁𝙐𝙬, can I actually go into my Flutter main? Is that a possibility? Let's have a look. He is timid. What if he's Overheat? There's no shot he would click Overheat here, right? Overheat would not knock me out. Means that I can keep this alive. Ifrit comes in. It's gonna live on 1 HP. The Rocks have put in the absolute finest of work here. I will say that much. and this doesn't risk as much because yeah, between bundle and gouging, we should be able to do enough, I believe. Because he can never kill me with... yeah, I think this is the better play. It's been however many turns, and finally we've managed to get 𝙁𝙗𝙉𝙀 in. It's taken all game. I mean, it hasn't taken all game. My decision making has meant that it's taken all game. So we're going to get Protosynthesis in speed, which means we outspeed everything on his team. Dark Pulse comes off, does do a lot of damage. I guess Dark Pulse is the best play because it catches the Empoleon as well. I guess I could have Calm Minded there, actually. Was Calm Mind a better play? Arguably. But I just need to weaken the Empoleon and we should be in a pretty good spot. If I can get my Gouging Fire back up to like a full HP, then we also can probably just win. Because I don't think that he'll be able to break that outside of like SD +2, like a +2 Stomping Tantrum, maybe. But we finally put the pressure on that we should have put on his team like ages ago. Right, so there we go. Finally Chi-Yu is dead. 𝙁𝙗𝙉𝙀 does pick up a kill. We now have half the amount of kills that Ellie picked up with 𝙁𝙗𝙉𝙀 during her PBA season. So we're making progress. We're putting getting some work done. And now we just need to prevent Empoleon from getting back up to a good amount of health, right? And then Bundle should be able to clean this up. I think regardless, do I just click Calm Mind here? Empoleon, because it means that if he does decide that he's going to roost, assume this is Flash Cannon last move. I think we're at 139, so we're just around half. So it would take a Flash Cannon if it's not invested. +1 Dark Pulse does 31 to 37 if he's specially defensive. It's either that or we just go for a Dark Pulse flinch here. We're at 134 actually, not 139. Like, there's part of me that really wants to go for a Calm Mind here. I think the better play is just a Dark Pulse, attempt to get the flinch. He might also be in range. If he's physically defensive, he might well be in range of Dark Pulse here. Go do nothing. Do we get a flinch? We do not get a flinch. Okay. I'm going to Calm Mind. I'm just going to do it. I need to boost myself to be able to potentially be able to pick up the 2-hit KO. That did very little damage, so I do think it is like very much for death. If we're at +2, like if he's not got Flash Cannon, he flip turns. Okay. Can I Draining Kiss? Or do I just Dark Pulse still? I think, okay, no, this is way too much health. I think I need to Moonblast. I don't think I have much of a choice. I think I've got to Moonblast this Ogerpon. Ogerpon +1 Moonblast is doing a lot. This might even come down to timer. He's faster than me? Oh yeah, I'm not fast on this. Okay, well, that's problematic. That is definitely problematic. Gotta be bundle. I was not fast, but I don't know what he was outspeeding, because I was speeding like a creep of a creep of a creep, something along those lines. So that's on me for being as slow as I was. This is faster, so it will definitely outspeed. I will freeze dry. No matter what, I freeze dry. If this ends up being 𝙁𝙁𝙐𝙍, then the end game is even tighter. But he is also running out of time, and I'm hoping that he doesn't actually time out, because it's getting a little close. It's definitely getting close. He is going to withdraw. In comes you again. Go for a freeze dry. If we get a freeze, that'll be nice. But we're not. I don't even know how much this can even do to me. I'm gonna freeze dry again, because I, at the very least, expect him to roost. At the very least, he should roost. And this catches a flip turn if he decides to flip turn. Because I think, all in all, that would be like my win con, is that he now chokes. We've ended up in a position where we really, like, we're in a bad spot, essentially. But he is going to stay in. If he doesn't roost here, then it's a win. Okay, he roosts. To be expected. But I am just going to keep clicking this, I think. I think I'm just going to freeze dry one more time. Because if I can catch him at any point on a flip turn, then we should be in a pretty good spot. Man, this game has gotten way more tense than it should have been. And I'm really hoping that he is aware now of the timer, that he only has like 2 minutes left. I'm really hoping he's aware of it. We just freeze dry again. He's going to surf. How much does he even do? It doesn't do a lot at all. He has 10 seconds, so I think we've won this game on timer, which sucks. He just roosts. He hasn't got the time for this. Right, regardless, my play is just to keep clicking freeze dry. And I'm sorry this is how this game's going to end, because it's an absolute cracker of a game. But we're going to be here. Yeah, he's got 1 second. I'm just going to click freeze dry. Because, yeah, timer's going to go out. We are going to win 2-0. It sucks that this is how it's ended, but at the same time, got to keep track of your time, right? You got to keep track of time. GG to 𝙁𝙁𝙐𝙍. Make sure to go check him out. He's one of my favorite people to watch in Draft League community at the moment. Really entertaining, really high quality stuff. And yeah, sucks that we didn't have a proper game, but if you enjoyed the battle, then please do leave a like, subscribe to both me and 𝙁𝙁𝙐𝙍 and all the other coaches in the PBA this season. And until next one, have a great day, guys. Peace.